it's Vanessa from Wander Onwards, and today we're in Playa del Carmen in Mexico. And I wanted to do a quick video about how to take advantage of your all-inclusive resort and what to look out for when you're booking them. All-inclusive resorts are a great option for budget-conscious travelers. Yes, all of the food, drinks, and accommodation is included in the original price, but that's not the whole story. As a travel tech expert, I'm going to give you the inside scoop on what to look out for and how to have the best experience possible. Hi, welcome to Playa del Carmen. We're going to walk you through our resort now. Somewhere in this lagoon, there is a 2-meter wide crocodile. It also has lots of babies, which is really creepy to think about. Do not go swimming in Tulum unless you're sure there's no crocodiles there. Be sure to stick around until the very end for my stunning resort walkthrough. So here are my top tips to find the best all-inclusive resort for you online. So first, you should go to an online travel agency, something like Booking, Expedia, Hotels.com, Hotwire, any of these will do. Then you want to toggle all-inclusive, and then you want to put in your dates and your amount of people. Now, a few things to highlight when you're looking at all of these different options are the following. 1, does everyone get to sleep together? Does it make sense to have people in different rooms? Should you be in a villa? Does a suite make more sense for the sort of special occasion that you're planning for? Number 2, I would highly recommend going for an all-inclusive resort that has restaurants that do meals a la carte. While the buffet might seem tempting, the reality is that food is sitting out there for hours, and then you're more likely to overindulge by shoving everything onto your plate out of the sheer fear that someone else might get it. Instead, if you go to a smaller boutique all-inclusive resort, you're gonna have specialty chefs, great waiters, attentive service, and this is what's really gonna make your all-inclusive resort experience amazing. However, if you are a spring breaker and you just want to get drunk for cheap, there are definitely all-inclusive resorts that specialize in that. They actually have clubs and bars on site, so you genuinely never have to leave the resort. I've seen these all-inclusive clubs and bars for as little as $750 for a week. So really, that's quite tempting. However, if you're a family with small children, you're going to want to stay clear of all of these party all-inclusive resorts because I'm not sure if you're going to have the best time. Now, when booking an all-inclusive resort, there are a few things that you need to consider. What type of resort it is, who they allow there, what does all-inclusive really actually mean? So we're going to go through these things. Number 1, first you want to ensure that the all-inclusive resort you have in mind caters to your type of demographic. Now, what does that mean? So first of all, there's lots of all-inclusive resorts that don't include children. Whew. And so if you're a family traveling with small children, you're going to want to double check that they're even allowed in. Otherwise, it's going to be a huge letdown for you and your family. Number 2, not all resorts are friendly towards same-sex couples, and that is definitely something that you're going to want to be aware of and focus on when you're booking on online OTAs like Booking or Hotels.com, because that is quite a strict policy in some countries, unfortunately. And then, of course, you have the traditional spring breakers, all-inclusive. You have things that cater to seniors. You have things that are more romantic. So essentially, you want to double check that the experience that you're buying and putting thousands of dollars in is relatable to your type of demographic. Number 3, what is actually included in these all-inclusive hotels and resorts? So the reality is anything off-site is probably not going to be included. In fact, even things on-site like spa experiences or special tastings, not included. The reality is these resorts have to make up the money that they discounted you by getting you here, and also the marketing fees that they have to pay the online travel agencies. So they're going to nickel and dime you as you go throughout your week, because that's just the reality of business. Now, I know this sounds a little bit negative, but I want you to be prepared for when you show up and then there starts to be additional costs and an accumulation of purchases on your particular card. Support this channel by giving this video a thumbs up or leave a question in the comments section. I always respond back. Number 4. There are going to be little shops and souvenir areas in your all-inclusive resort, but these prices are inflated beyond belief. Going back again to making up the cost that they originally lost by getting you here and paying for your food and your booze and your accommodation, sunblock will range from $10 to $20. A hat might cost you $21. It's really bonkers how much of a markup there is, and that also goes for the ATMs. You're not going to be getting a good exchange rate at the ATMs, so you're going to want to exchange money before you get to the resort. Now, you can do this at the airport, you can do this at the bank. My personal preference is doing this at a local ATM with my Revolut card, which doesn't give me ATM fees or currency exchange fees. The reality is, once you're at a resort, you're kind of trapped here. And that's why you're at risk of paying these inflated prices for the basic things that you might need. While this is a very smart decision for large groups or perhaps people on very strict budgets, you need to remember that there's always going to be an upsell or things that are not included. So prepare yourself emotionally and mentally and financially for when you come here and start to accumulate this sort of cost. Finally, my best tip of all, engage with the staff at the all-inclusive resort. These are real people with real lives and real feelings, as shocking as that might sound. And when you engage with them on a one-to-one level, maybe try a little bit of the local language and tip generously, you're gonna notice an immediate difference in your attentive service. For us, we noticed immediately that one waiter was providing an incredibly attentive experience, and then he also did a bespoke tequila tasting for us, and then did this amazing table with candles and special decorations for our honeymoon. We immediately recognized how much effort he was putting into our service, so we gave him a pretty generous tip of $25. This actually meant a lot to him, because in Mexico, people only make $5 a day, more or less, from their salaries at these resorts, and then everything else is based on tips. Even if you're a budget traveler, the reality is the rest of the world doesn't live on salaries like we do in the United States or in Europe. They depend on these service tips to make ends meet. And when you recognize that your money goes so far in the eyes of these very normal people, that's when your experience as a traveler goes into the next level, because you understand the sort of contribution you're bringing to this environment, neighborhood, and country. So how do you make the most out of your all-inclusive resort stay? Well, first of all, you want to plan around the activities that you intend to do while you're here. More often than not, they'll give you this sort of calendar of options that you have. And you really want to strategize your eating times, your drinking times, based off of the free activities that you want to do. Secondly, if you want to make the most out of your money at an all-inclusive resort, you need to pace yourself. Yes, you can drink all that you can, but should you? No. You want to take the day as you would any other. Slowly ease into it, space out drinks with water, spend some time at the beach, enjoy meeting new people in the public areas, and most importantly, don't make yourself sick. It's so easy to think and get into this mindset, well, I paid for this, so I'm gonna eat it. But in reality is, you're gonna make yourself super sick. So while my husband Marcus might eat 2 to 4 main entrees every single time, that doesn't mean that you should. Really, this is your vacation too. The way you're gonna make the most of an all-inclusive resort is by taking your time, feeling comfortable with what you're doing, and learning how to mix drinks that are appropriate for you. for watching. If you liked that video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to get notified about new videos every week.